Hi, my name is Josh Good with Click. In this video, we're going to look at working with the master library. I have an app I've already created here, and it contains a data model that we already worked on in a previous video. So we'll just go and look at that data model here. Now, the master library gives you the ability to create objects, dimensions, and measures that can be reused across your entire app. The nice thing about the master library is you can create it any time along the development process, and you can actually even create it once a fully finished app has been built. We'll go through the various spots where you create objects and put them in the master library, and we'll start actually with the data model viewer because that's the lowest base level spot where you can start to add things to your master library. So here's my data model that I've created. If I pop up the preview pane here and I select a field like sales, I can add it as a dimension or measure. If I want to add sales would be as a measure, I can add that in. And then I have an expression up here that sales is going to be. So in this case, we're going to sum sales. So I can type in sum like that, and then sum sales will be the expression. If you're not sure about the expression or you need a little help with that, we can delete that over here. And you can actually work over on the right-hand side, and we can select the field, and we can search for it. There's sales. And the aggregation we're going to pick is sum, and we can just click insert, and then we get the correct syntax that we're looking for. Click apply. We're going to name this field sales, and this is going to be total sales after discount. A little description in there. And if we choose to, we could even add tags to this. So this would be sales. I'll add that tag, and with discounts. We'll click create. We can also add dimensions. So we'll add a dimension maybe for product name. Just add dimension. That can be a simpler process. We're happy with the naming of this. We could add tags into this, and this is related to products. So we'll add a tag there. And we could put a description as well as we'd like to. Maybe we'll do the same thing with category name. We'll add a dimension. And we'll just put the tag in products again. Add the dimension. Close. So we've started to create a few things in our master library. So now when we go into our app overview and we go into the sheet, and when we edit the sheet, still the same ability, select all the objects we did before, and we can also go and look at all the fields just like we had before. However, we have a little bit of a shortcut now when we go over to our master items list, and we have a category name and product name in there, and we have a measure created, sales. So I could take sales and I can drag it on, and then I could take my dimension, category names, and drag that on. And now I've created an object very quickly inside ClickSense. If at some point I decided that actually my sales that I was using was not the right calculation, perhaps I wanted to add in discounts for what we're going to call sales, or I wanted to change the expression, I would be able to go back into my measures here, and I could click on it, and I can edit it directly in here. And now it's telling me this is going to change that expression everywhere I've used the master item. So in our case, we have some sales. We might want to add some discounts. And this is now total sales before discounts. And now that's going to change this everywhere in my application. And I hit apply, and you'll notice that the numbers change slightly on my app. Maybe we add a little bit. We could say total sales by category. And if I worked with the chart a little bit more and did a few things around the appearance, I might want to be reusing this chart elsewhere. So maybe I had my colors by measure set up, and I'm happy with that. So now we could take this particular object, can right-click on it, and say Add to Master Items. And with total sales by category, we could put a description in here, and we could put a tag in as well if we chose to. We click Add. And now it appears in the visualization under our master items. So we can add many visualizations there that can be reused by other users. And then, of course, to edit these, you can only do that from the master items list. We also can add items to the master items list directly from the fields list. So here we have COS. So perhaps I was building out a new chart, and I wanted to look at cost of goods sold by category. Well, I'm about to drag COS onto the sheet here to create that, or perhaps I've already put in a bar chart like this, and I'm about to drag COS in, and I say, wait a second, I'm probably going to use cost of goods sold more than once. So instead of dropping it in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the master items list as a measure, and we're going to sum our cost of goods. And COS isn't descriptive enough, so we'll call it cost of goods. And I'll click create. And now that takes me right over to the master items list underneath the measures, and there it is right there to create and use inside my application. And then, of course, I could grab another dimension as perhaps product category, and I could throw that in for my master items as well. So that gives me the ability to really quickly create items and add them to the master items list as needed. So in review, there's three major places you can add things to your master items. You can do it directly from the data model viewer. You can do it from the fields list, as well as you can right-click on objects inside your application, and you can add them there. That concludes this video. For more help getting started with ClickSense, don't forget about the link down at the bottom of the hub that says Getting Started, and that will take you out to a web page that has a link to this video, along with many other resources that will assist you in getting started.